Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Warcraft replay here as we load into an Orc versus Undead matchup here. No more randoms this time around. We have a map on Terenas Stand. We have Hitman spawning in as the red Orc player on the top right. He will be facing off against 120, the blue Undead player in the bottom right here.
Ready to work.
It's a standard ladder game, nothing too serious. I chose this because it's a very irregular matchup. Hitman being an American player doesn't, or at least I would assume, doesn't usually play on Netease, but sometimes he does play. As we have seen from the first game I cast with him, versus WC3, that was pretty fun to watch, and I'm just choosing this replay based on his playstyle that he's shown there, so I'm not sure if we're gonna have the same thing since it's been a couple months and obviously balance changes have occurred, but yeah, we'll see.
Work complete.
120 on the other hand, still very dominant Undead player. I guess Undead's gotten a couple of changes on the recent patch, but I don't think it ultimately changes things drastically for them. Perhaps their late game is a little better. I don't actually know if that's true or not. It does make I do remember like carrion beetles need burrow research, so it makes them a little bit less long living, but I don't think it's going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things. We are going to have Death Knight start here for 120, however. Meanwhile, Hitman's going to go for the Blade Master start here, so it looks pretty standard so far. Graveyard with the Tid timing, we are going to have the Peon getting killed there by the Death Knight unable to get the denial, as the Death Knight's just going to pick up a skeleton stick and just continue on farming. Blade Master probably going to go for the double items here, maybe even just a single item, but I imagine he's just going to go start harassing as soon as he is ready. Greater Healing Potion gets picked up by the Death Knight here as he utilizes the Lightning Shield. I'm not even sure if he got that last hit or not, but I think he's gonna get level 2 regardless. Yeah, as the Blade Master is gonna go for the double items, plus 5 claws and Gloves of Haste. It's really weird calling it plus 5 claws. But yeah, it's also odd to me that only the plus 6 claws got hit rather than like the plus 9 and plus 12.
We're under attack.
But I mean, it's obvious that the claws is basically the most coveted item of that item pool. Speaking of most coveted, Cloak of Shadows probably one of the least preferred, especially on the Blade Master since he has his own form of stealth, as the Death Knight is moving about here, but since it is an Orc matchup, it's very unlikely that he's expecting a fast expand. Just gonna go for the Renegade Wizard on the top right, once again utilizing the Lightning Shield there. Tier 2 halfway for 120, should be the same for Hitman as well, as he is going for a couple more grunts to the lineup here. No Wombo being placed down, so we might not even be seeing trolls this game, as it does seem like a pretty standard transition into, what was it, Turn Totem Bestiary? I was about to say Sparrow Lodge Bestiary, but that change has been for a while now. Death Knight coming in level 2 here, he does have the Great Healing Potion, might even toss a early Death Coil. Nope, he's just gonna stop the healing salve of the Blade Master. 120 is even going to expend mana to cancel that healing. It doesn't seem like it, and he's just going to back off, it seems. Gonna find out the camps have actually had their items stolen, so just gonna clear it for the experience alone. Blade Master about to hit level 3 with this gold creep, as Tier 2 is about to be done for 120. He's also starting to add the crit fiends to his army comp here. There we go, level 3, but the Blade Master is pretty low HP and no health potions available. Berserker is the target, however, for the Death Knight. It doesn't look like it's gonna lead to a kill, however, as yeah, Death Knight is not willing to go for the offensive death coils this game.
Research complete.
Hopefully, the unplugging my second mic didn't actually get picked up. That would be kind of awkward. Fortress Tech here, so interesting Fortress Tech. We might go into late trolls maybe, or he might go for turns like he did in the game versus WC3. Sword House being placed down as tier 3 rush as well for 120, so both sides going for very fast Tech 3. Blade Master being really annoying here. The Sword House might go down. It is nearing its completion, and we are not seeing any of the ghouls even attempting to go for a cancellation there. So the Sword House will be cancelled, as dust is going to be used to pick up the Blade Master, as he is seemingly unable to fit through this ziggurat wall there. So very nicely done from 120, preventing any economic harassment from the Blade Master. And it seems like the Blade Master didn't pick up a point into Mirror Image. We did see it being played a little bit in the last game, mainly just to get out of surrounds. I guess the RNG on trying to get the misplacement with the Mirror Image might be a little unreliable, so might not be seeing that for that reason. Death Knight 4 experience points away from leveling up there. Probably get this a little bit and then toss the rest to the Lich. Shadowhunter is just farming by himself, meanwhile the Blade Master is being as annoying as possible. Nova Coil trying to finish off the Blade Master there, but yeah, heroes do take reduced damage from spells, so thank the stars, I guess, for the Blade Master living with about 50 HP. Did actually get to burn his speed scroll as well, although I guess it didn't really matter all too much later on. 1 mil finished. We do have a bestiary as well. No turn totem, no spirit lodge just yet, so not entirely sure what Hitman's endgame goal is going to be. But if any of you guys do remember from the WC3 game, Undead late game's kind of hard to deal with as an orc player. Banshees basically wreck most of what Undeads could actually, of what orcs can actually bring, since Curse is like very menacing to deal with, since the chances of just missing flat out is kind of a big bummer. And of course, if you go for the big scary turn comps, they can easily get stolen with the possessions. Hell, even possessing the Coda Beasts is very favorable for the Undead player. Coda Beast, War Drum upgrade, and we are having the Berserker upgrade coming in from Hitman. Meanwhile, WC3 going for the Pit Lord 3rd with the Howl of Terror there, as his arm comp is being picked up a little bit, but unfortunately 120 just has, or at least I would say he has a lot more units. Army supply is a bit even on both sides, but yeah, the healing from the Death Knight, unable to keep up with the DPS from the Orc player, is gonna force probably a retreat coming in from 120, as yet another Crypt Fiend is getting focused down there. Howl of Terror is not gonna be enough to reduce the DPS of that Blade Master. Never mind, he does get outed out by the Death Coil. Dine and dash from the Coda Beast, as the Orc army is going to retreat after the death of the Blade Master there. But yeah, it's a bit of a miscalculation from Hitman. 120 playing a lot with the Dust Appearance in this game, able to basically point out the Blade Master whenever he's stealth, and that kill was just a little too unexpected for Hitman.
Vengeance for Surgi.
Alright, first bit of trolls coming out here. I guess trolls are the best repellent against those banshees, but sadly they're not too great when it comes to the one-on-one with the Crypt Fiends. Blade Master spotting the expansion attempt here by 120, and it is going to get instantly cancelled. Thankfully, since Hitman is tier 3, he can go for an expansion very quick with the Pocket Great Hole. And honestly, you should be going for it. Like, I know he's trying to construct or train up a sizable army before going for the expansion attempt, but yeah, this lull period could have definitely been taken advantage of.
We're under attack.
Death Knight not gonna hit level 4. Oh, especially not with that creep steal. Tome of Agility also being picked up by the Blade Master as well, though, so that's like +1, +2 on the base damage there, so very nice. Uh-oh, Rallying Crypt Fiend is gonna get caught up, but oh, never mind on that. But Torrent Chieftain did take a bit of damage there, either from the creep camp or from the double abilities of the undead heroes. Regardless, the creep camps are slowly being cleared out here. I believe this is the last one on the map. Never mind, we do have the Sasquatch camp here on the bottom side. But after that gets taken down, it's basically just fighting each other from here on out. Blade Master running around with 2+5s and a +6 Boots of Quel'The Loss is going to eat up a Death Coil there before going into Invuln. Destroyer is going to go down as a War Stomp coming through onto the Death Knight there, but I think the main target is the Pit Lord, is going to get healed up with the Death Coil, and this might just be a little bit of less momentum for the Orc player. He's just going to try his best to retreat and maybe go for another attempt later on, as yeah, it's very tough trying to go after the Death Knight since he does have that health stone, but at the same time it's very difficult going for the other heroes as well, since they can easily just get healed up by the Death Cores as well. Lich also still has that great healing potion from the early game. Lich is also looking pretty scary with the +6 Roman Magi's, as well as the Orb and the double circlets there. Central going to get placed down, but here comes the Howl of Terror from 120. Pit Lord versus the Blade Master, who is going to get chunked down first. Healing Wave not as potent as Death Coils, but it will at least be able to keep multiple heroes alive. As I say that, the Torrent Chieftain does get ousted by the Undead combo. Another Howl of Terror is going to come down. Berserk is going to get activated there. But now that the Lich is going to start focus firing the Trolls, their increased damage received is going to bite them in the ass. Crypt Fiend does go down, giving level 4 over to the Blade Master, but a lot of units are in danger of going down there for Hitman. He's going to try his Zeppelin micro, but at the same time it's kind of risky to keep the Zeppelin up and around, especially with webs being a potential threat on the Zeppelin. Surprisingly enough, that Hitman's actually being able to take his micro to pretty decent levels here, and is able to maybe even get the upper hand on this fight. Death Knight is out of mana, so he's unable to go for additional Death Coils, as we are gonna probably have a retreat coming through. Burrow is gonna be a little slow on that Crypt Fiend, but yeah, here comes the web finally, and now this is danger zone that I was a bit worried about. Without access to that Zeppelin, his low hit point units are pretty in threat of actually going down there. 120 is gonna take down the Coda Beast, but the Spider is gonna get sniped before he gets the Burrow off. And TP Scroll is going to keep the remainder undead units alive there, so that was really good for Hitman. He showed very high technical skill with the Zeppelin micro. It was just unfortunate timing that 120 was able to get the web research completed. But yeah, that was really good. Pocket Great Hole is going to get placed down here, and hopefully the economic advantage will swing on Hitman's favors, because yeah, like I said before, once 120 adds Banshees to his army comp, I think it might be a little difficult for Hitman to finish this off. Even though we are dealing with trolls, I do think maybe a couple Banshees here and there would be nice. Especially with the green bubbles as well as the curse chance. But yeah, 120 should stick primarily to those Crypt Fiends. It's just, yikes, that Blade Master, even with the claws nerf, is still able to do so much work. And I believe that is all the creep camps taken out there. So this expansion is going to be super important, because it's the only advantage that you can get from now on, which is basically just get more bases and try to, I guess, sustain an 80 supply or maybe even 100 supply army. Uh, 55 supply for Hitman, 53 supply for 120. 120 just hit that low upkeep, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Coda Beast is a bit slow on the retreat there, almost singled out by the Pit Lord, but the expansion is the primary target, I would assume. We do have a Wind Rider in the air, as the Troll is going to get sniped down by the Nova Coil. Gonna give level 3 over to the Pit Lord, as well as level 4 over to the Lich. Speed Scroll is gonna get activated there, as I believe the Coda Beast was trying to go for a Dine and Dash, but no, it is consecutively missing on those Nobbles, or Gobbles. Now the Halotera is gonna come through, as the War Stomp is going to try and secure maybe a couple of Devours from the Coda Beast. The Blade Master is dropped down to about 230 HP there, but 120 is still the one to retreat, as the Death Coil is going to come down to heal up the Pit Lord. Another Crypt Fiend is going to go down as a Hallow Terror. Once again, going to get recasted. It's not going to hit those Trolls, however, so yeah, those Trolls could potentially do a lot more damage than I guess 120 would expect after the Hallow Terror. Yep, once again, the Hallow Terror did not actually reach the backline of those Trolls there, and they should just let it rip, to be honest. Blade Master did get hit a little bit, but he has so much bonus attack damage that I think it doesn't really matter too much for him, Syed. The only thing he needs to worry about is not to get sniped out with the Undead combo, especially without any invuln whatsoever. Wyvern is going to get auto-whipped and killed off there, as the Coda Beast in the front line is definitely not ideal, and he is going to go down without even taking a bite. Another Death Coil to heal up the Pit Lord there, as the Death Knight still has about 2 Death Coils left in him. Dust is going to not be able to catch the Blade Master, as he is kind of healing up in the back there. Destroyer in the air, as are we going to have a Hallow Terror once again? We are. It's going to only hit a couple of those units, as Coda Beast still not going for another bite there, as the Terran Chieftain, 1 War Stomp and he's out. Perhaps we're gonna equalize with the Pit Lord kill there, but he does go for a Hallow Terror right before he dies, so the Blade Master is super important to keep alive there. Down to about 50 HP, is gonna go back and try and heal things up with possibly a salve, but 120 does add a couple of abominations on his side as well. So that extra bit of frontline is going to keep those trolls kind of in check. It basically depends on how well Hitman is with his focus firing. And yeah, we are going to have a Gobble instead on the Abomination, so a bit of questionable positioning on the Abomination there. And I guess 120 needs to focus a lot more on focusing down those Coda Beasts more than ever. Healing Wave coming through once again, as the Trolls, despite not being upgraded compared to the Crypt Fiends, They're not exactly getting focus fire themselves either. Kodabeast with the Abomination is very low HP there, needs to be careful not to get sniped and give the free A-bomb back. Here comes the Berserk ability from those trolls trying to snipe down the Obsidian statue there as Blade Master goes down very, very low once again, is going to get healed up with the healing wave as the trolls trying their best to just chase out those Obsidian statues there. Lich down to about half HP. He did use the Greater Healing Potion, it seems, as the Death Knight is also out of mana, so these hero kills could be kind of devastating if the Blade Master was able to keep himself healthy. Kodabeast getting sniped down. This one with the Crypt Fiend is gonna go down there and burrow itself. Meanwhile, the one with the A-bomb could potentially get screwed over with his troll, but he is gonna get right past with a pretty decent amount of HP there. Turn Chieftain gets revived back to full HP with 100 mana, so yeah, that's once again another pretty scary hero to deal with. Oh yikes, that was very devastating. Hitman, I think that might actually just be the turning point, to be honest. The Blade Master was kind of keeping the equilibrium in check, but now that he's back with half HP and no mana, I don't even think that that 120 is going to allow the Blade Master to try and heal back up. As he's trying to push it as best he can, Death Coil healing the Pit Lord back to full HP once again. Trolls, Howl of Terror is going to wear out as they are going to activate their Berserk ability once again. Turn Chieftain down to half HP there as the Pit Lord going for another Howl of Terror. Oh yikes, that snipe onto the Blade Master. Definitely should hit the mental of Hitman, to be honest. Armor supply is still pretty even, 50 versus 49 here. But Hitman has been taking advantage of this second base pretty well. 1-0 being a bit slacking on the siege department, but he has been kind of making up for it by just killing his opponent's heroes there. Might even pick up Turn Chieftain for free as he goes down once again at level 3 there. Endurance Aura is no longer available for the Orc army as the trolls trying their best to snipe down those units as best they can, but honestly, with the death coils left and right, with the burrows being available to those Crypt Fiends there, it's kind of hard to actually find secure kills. Trying their best to go after those statues there, but ultimately I think the heroes on the Undead side might be able to just carry things for themselves. Invuln on the Blade Master there as he goes for a Crypt Fiend kill once again, gonna get that level 5. But now that the Invuln's worn off, is he gonna get sniped out by the Death Coil? No, he is not, but with the Blade Master retreat, the Trolls and the Grunts are kind of left to their own devices, and they are gonna get picked off one by one by the triple Undead heroes there. Double level 5 Lich and Death Knights, that is kind of the highest power spike that they can have, access to their highest damaging combo there. We'll see if it gets used to... I guess not. I was gonna say if we're gonna see it used to snipe out the Blade Master, but instead it seems like 120 is able to take this, as I guess Hitman didn't really think he could finish it off. So yeah, once again, kind of losing to Undead late game, even though we didn't see Banshees in that particular game. Yeah, that was tough to deal with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys again next time. Apologies for the rather abrupt ending.